Hello, everybody.
Yep.
Watching this on Twitch or YouTube or wherever you're watching this. This is the Radio Clone podcast about Star Wars. I'm Zach.
Episode 2.
Boynton. Hello, me. Oh yeah, episode 2. I've got to say, go check out episode 1. We rank all the Star Wars movies. Very interesting episode. We had a good debate there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm Zach Boynton. This is my partner, David. David, introduce yourself.
Hello.
I thought you
I'm
were
just
hello
gonna,
there.
I'm just,
Anyway, episode 2 today. We're talking about Star Wars video games. So yeah, I think in terms of like overall knowledge of Star Wars video games, David, you're definitely the expert. You've played a lot more variation of Star Wars video games than me.
Yeah.
Um,
I've been playing.
but I've also
Star
played my
Wars
fair amount
games
too.
For. Oh God, when was the PS2? When was the PS2 released?
The PS2? Wow,
Oh,
that was a
God.
while ago.
I need to. I mean,
So
this is why you should look at the
I
facts,
only-
people.
yeah, this is why you need to know your facts for the podcast. No. So yeah, we'll be talking about all things EA, all things different versions of games. David's got a few games he wants to talk about. I've got a few games I want to talk about. We're also going to talk about potential video games that could come out of Star Wars still. Personally, I want to see a survival game, but I'll get onto that later towards the end of the podcast. So, how do we want to start this? David, do you want to start with one of your games? Whip it out.
I mean, I can talk about any of the games I have played a lot of.
Yeah, go on. Hit us with a game. We'll talk about it. I'll bounce off what
Okay.
you say.
I'll start off by talking about one of my all-time favourite Star Wars games. And nothing anyone says will ever make me think, yeah, this is actually a bad game. And
Okay.
it's Republic Commando.
Yeah,
For-
okay, I've heard a lot of good things about this game.
Yes. I'm pretty sure they're mainly from me.
Okay. So,
And-
what do you do in the game then? Tell us what you do
So,
in the game. Just to describe to
basically-
people who haven't played it.
You play as Boss, or Big Boss. I think it's just Boss.
Big Boss.
Who is a clone commando. And he was featured as basically a cameo in the Clone Wars TV show. And
Mhm,
it
yeah.
was like a little nod to the fans who played
Of this
Republic
game,
Commando,
assuming.
basically. Because they were like, there was a lot of debate of whether they would be featured or not, I think. Or at least in some of the forums I've read.
Okay.
But you play as a leader of a commando unit, with
Mhm.
the group being 4 commandos, being Fixer, Sev, Scorch, and Boss.
And Boss. Boss
So-
boy.
You've got those 3.
And
those-
for reference, I'm going to die quickly so I can show you the commando droids in this game, Star Wars Battlefront 2, quickly.
or clone commandos.
Oh, Clone Commando, sorry, my bad, yep. Kill me. I'm standing right in front of him, he's not killing me. So yeah, keep talking about it while I die.
Yeah, so you basically have to go on. The first mission is you start off as a clone commando squad on Geonosis on the first battle. It widens the lore of what happened during the Battle of Geonosis.
hmm
As obviously during the movies and TV shows we only saw practically
very small glimpse of it.
limited amount of what actually happened in the first battle of Geonosis.
Yeah. The first, not the second. The second's fairly
First
covered.
battle.
The first
Second battle
yes.
is fairly covered. So, as you can see via the stream, the clone commando.
I am playing a Clone Commando now.
Yeah, Zach's playing the clone commando. They were, I'm fairly certain, one of the only main clone units, especially in video games, that had a ammo
Mhm.
count for their weapon. Whereas other blasters and stuff would just overheat, and they'd have a heat pack
Yeah.
and battery pack and stuff like that. The clone commandos actually had to use ammo.
It makes them a lot
And
more
they-
realistic, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Or it's as realistic as you can get in Star Wars anyway.
and in the game, and even in later games as we're playing the new Star Wars Battlefront 2 game, when they were added in, they have attachments for their weapons, so you can create
Yeah.
different configurations.
Yeah.
So you've got the anti-armor grenade attachment, which Zach
Yeah,
is
that's what I'm using now.
conveniently using.
Yeah.
You could have a AR variant, which is the main one that
Main weapon.
every clone would use, who was a commando, or Spec Ops unit, because they were used by other
I'm gonna
units,
die
not
here.
just clone commandos. But very rarely they'd be used outside clone commando units.
Yeah.
But you could also have a sniper configuration, which
Yeah.
made them very good for scouts and Black Ops units.
Yeah. So what about the game did you enjoy a lot? To mention it in this famous podcast that's clearly famous.
What was that? Sorry.
Or
Talking about commission
you
still,
dismissed for a
so
second.
yeah, no.
no, yeah.
talking
What about the game
commission still.
made it so one of your favourites?
It mainly gave me more of an insight into clones,
Clones. Yeah.
and it
we
was
both love the clones. You know, we're called Radio Clone.
yeah.
It's easily some of the best
It
things in
is
Star Wars.
by far one of my favourite things ever.
ever to be created. So good game. Rating out of 10, if you could give it a rating out of 10.
Oh, 20.
A 20. Nice. I respect that. So
It's
there you go.
something I grew up with. I played it on PC to begin with. Like,
PC.
the specs
OG
weren't that bad.
PC
It was
player.
a 2-disc install thing,
Yeah.
as were most games at the time.
Oh, you just got blown to
You
bits.
played. I did. Via a wrist rocket.
So yeah, it
basically
was
took you
it was a
through-
good game then. A good overall game.
Yeah, it took you through first battle of Geonosis, some other Spec
Yep.
Ops missions on Kashyyyk, and the such, and a
Yeah.
derelict thing, and a derelict ship that we're now contacting got discovered again. Highly recommend checking it
Yeah.
out.
I might have to give that a go myself. Should we moving on to the next game then? Just because keep things
Yeah,
moving, you know.
do you have a game you want to talk about?
Yeah, you haven't played the Fallen Order, have you?
I
Fallen
have.
Order.
I had it before
Oh,
you,
you
and I
have?
completed it before you.
God damn it. Okay, ignore me then. Let's talk about that one though, because that's one that I've played. I think that we both
Yeah.
played.
Bit slow there.
I don't know why I thought you had played it. Yeah, I did. Jedi Fallen Order is one of, in my experience, the best story modes of any game, yet alone Star Wars, that I have played. And I'm still going through it at the moment, so I haven't finished yet. But it's really fun. It's really challenging as well. So it's not like you just play it and it's done within an hour, whatnot, like other story modes.
No, it's a very Dark Souls style game.
Yeah.
Dark
yeah,
Souls,
and it
Bloodborne.
works well.
It
Yeah,
works well
and it
for a
works
Star Wars
very
game.
well. The characters are good. It's a very good game, and EA need to do more games like it. They really do, because they can make so much money from selling these sort of games, right? You know,
Oh, they
people who
could.
don't play video games will buy these video games for the lore. It's a very, very good game. The mechanics in it are great as well. Love the mechanics. A bit difficult, but you know, that's part of the challenge. But yeah, what did you think of Fallen Order?
I quite enjoyed it. I was hesitant to play
Yeah.
it because I was like, "Oh, how's this gonna kind of work in terms
know,
of
yeah.
as a game?" Because
Yeah,
I was thinking, how can they incorporate basically an entirely new Jedi
yeah, into a
Into-
period of time where it's already so filled out, like
Yeah,
in terms of canon and lore and stuff. Yeah, I had very similar concerns as well, because the lore, if you're going to build a story mode in Star Wars, the lore's got to make sense, right?
you've got to
Um,
connect it with the lore.
Yeah, and they connected it with the Inquisitors and all of that sort of stuff, which is heavily featured in Star Wars Rebels, the TV series. So it works well, and it fits the lore very nicely, in my opinion, and I'm sure me and yours. But
I mean,
yeah,
I liked the combat.
Yeah, combat was good.
So
I
the
loved
combat was very fluid in terms of controls. There, obviously,
Yeah.
as the game got updated recently, there were a lot more glitches and issues with it,
Mhm.
as many
Yeah,
YouTubers.
it can be
have
pretty buggy.
They,
Yeah.
one specific YouTuber that we both know, in terms of what their
Uh,
content is, made a couple meme videos
Yes.
about it,
Just a couple.
and I'm fairly certain you already know who I'm talking about.
Pretty okay. I'm not
They,
certain, but is it a certain Russian? By any chance? Am I wrong? Am
Not-
I thinking of the wrong person?
Wrong
I think I'm
person.
thinking of the wrong person here.
They
Okay, who are you thinking
they had a
of?
certain fixation with Merrin.
With,
and
with who?
Merrin from the game. And
Yeah,
then
I
begins
think I
with
know
a
who
Z.
you're on about. Yeah. Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Okay. Just for
So-
the audience not knowing. Just for the audience
Just,
not
I
knowing.
mean, we will probably shout them out.
Shout
in-
out to the YouTuber.
We'll give them a shout out at some point, but you know, screw it. We'll do that in a minute after we've talked about this. But
Yeah.
I watched their videos
But
before
no.
I bought the game,
Yeah.
and it made me go, "Ooh, this looks like a good game."
It's good. Yeah. I will also say, Darth Vader at the end of the game. I haven't gotten that yet, but I've seen videos of it. Awesome.
Oh,
It's
it is
just
amazing.
epic bit of lore there. Epic bit of lore.
If you don't
And
mind,
it just makes
you've seen
Darth
the videos,
Vader
of it,
even
so
more of a badass.
you've had it
Yeah.
spoiled for you, haven't you? Basically, because
Yeah,
of the videos.
Yeah. Yeah.
The way he's introduced is amazing.
Mm.
Because you have basically one of the Inquisitors being turned to the light side. Or, you know,
Mm.
basically
Yeah.
turned to the light side.
Yeah.
And then you hear his breathing.
And it's just. Oof,
And it's
God
just-
damn.
It,
Chill
when I
it.
heard it, I was playing it late at night. I
Yeah.
heard his voice. I heard his breathing. And I had
And it's
chills
like-
and shivers. I was like,
Oh,
oh
snap.
no. Oh no. 'Cause-
This is happening. And then he just executes that Inquisitor right there.
and then,
And it's like.
yeah,
Damn.
all you hear is just, "You have failed me for the last time, Inquisitor."
And then she's just like, avenge us.
Lightsaber ignite.
And it's like, oh,
Dead.
yeah, it's good. I just opened a
Done.
by the way.
That Inquisitor is
Yeah.
gone.
Yeah, I agree. So,
And
Jedi
then-
Fallen Order, as a game, I think
Yeah.
we can summarise pretty easily 10 out of 10. It's a
Yeah,
brilliant game.
I say
Brilliant
it's a 10 out of 10.
mechanics.
In terms of
Not much
recent
bad to
Star
say
Wars
about
games.
it. Yeah, in terms of recent
Recent
Star Wars games,
story-driven Star
Um,
Wars games.
it definitely beats the. I'm about to go on to the next game. It beats the story in Star Wars Battlefront 2 easily, with Iden Versio and all of that.
I mean,
in my-
it's
in
two
my
stories
opinion. I
entirely,
mean,
but in
it
terms
is two
of
completely
Battlefront
different
2
stories.
story,
Yeah,
there were issues I had with the game, as everyone did, upon launch,
yeah.
with the
Yeah.
whole loot box fiasco,
hmm
and how basically how
Yeah.
DICE had monetized it all and was like, hey, guess what? This is ours now.
Yeah, Star Wars Battlefront 2 had the rockiest start to a game could have. it was pretty brutal. I think the only reason people stuck with it was because it was Star Wars. But it was,
You know, as myself, I just
yeah,
I bought it as a pre-order deluxe edition.
yeah. I think I got it because you were getting it as well. But I remember getting the game, playing it for about a solid week, and then after that just thinking, "Oh, it's so frustrating to play, I can't keep playing this." And the only thing that brought me back was you and me playing on Xbox. And
Yeah, like we
it
are
took me
now.
a while to come back, and it took me a couple of updates to get back, right? You know,
Oh, yeah,
it wasn't an immediate thing. It was gradually over a few months after they updated the game, they fixed a few things, they added new heroes, they added ARC troopers and all these new kind of like things you could play, and it made the game a lot better. And now, I would say when it was released, it was possibly maybe a 3 or 4 out of 10. Like it wasn't good.
Oh no, when it was
But
possible,
now
released,
now it's
it
maybe
could
a solid
rival
8 or 9.
one of the worst games
Yeah.
in Star Wars in terms of
Yeah.
multiplayer.
Yeah. I agree.
But as
But-
you said,
Yeah.
as it became updated, DICE basically tried doing as much as they could, or as much as EA would let them.
Yeah.
DICE were the ones that were involved with the community, spoke to the community, were on forums and were active on Twitter, Reddit, all of them, with the fans.
Yeah.
If anyone had questions, the developers would answer,
You'd go. DICE would answer it. Yeah.
and it was
Like,
always
DICE
DICE developers.
This
EA,
thing, right? We need to talk about this. The difference between DICE and EA, right? So EA owned the rights to every Star Wars game made. DICE make them, right?
EA are the publishers,
that's-
and they have the
yeah.
rights to the games.
Yeah.
DICE were the
And-
developers, and basically
Yeah.
just made love to the game once they were able to get a bit more leniency with it.
Made love to it. That's brilliantly put.
No, because look what
I-
they did. They
did,
added
yeah.
clone skins. They added
They
characters and troopers and reinforcements that people wanted.
Yeah, they listened to the community very well, and they really did improve this game. And now recently, I'm sure many fans watching this have seen, EA have cut off support for the game, and it's being cut. They're choosing to. It frustrates.
Well, the reason they cut it was
they've
so
made
they
this
could
decision.
move development onto Star Wars Squadrons, which was recently basically
Yeah.
announced.
Recently
and-
announced, yeah.
A lot of fans have already brought up the issue of, we have this, it's Starfighter
Yes.
Assault.
Literally,
one plays
this is my.
Starfighter
I think
Assault.
we need to talk about this
Why
now.
are people going to play
Yep.
this game?
Star Wars Starfighter Assault is in. It's
a game mode in
You can
Battlefront
play
2.
it as a playable game. You can fly around in a spaceship, and they've advertised this new Squadrons game as an amazing game where you can play as a team of squadrons, a group of your friends coming along and flying it. And I'm just sitting there
Or at least
watching
that's
the
what
trailer.
it seems to be.
Yeah, and that's what it
Obviously,
seems
as
to come out as, right?
it's not a
Um,
full released game just yet.
Yeah, it's not fully released, so we don't fully know. But that's what it seems to be. I've got Grievous running towards me now. But that's what it seems to be. And but we have that, and we can do that, and it's not a good game mode. It's not. That's why
It's-
no one wants to be a spaceship when you can be a lightsaber wielding maniac or a clone trooper. Like you just
I think the
it's
term
just
for
not-
it is it's a lightsaber wielding space wizard.
space wizard. Yes, that's exactly.
Because that's
I
what
was
Jedi
looking
are.
for.
Let's be honest.
Yep. Let's be
And-
real here.
I
But,
am honestly quite glad that even with EA telling DICE cut support, at least major content support for the game, they're
Yeah,
still
maybe,
doing
like bug fixes and stuff will come in.
bug fixes.
But yeah, but I think Squadrons. I'm predicting will be a massive flop. I really am. I don't think it will.
People
do well.
will buy
I think
it.
people will buy it. People will buy
Because
it
it's
a
Star
Star
Wars.
Wars game. Hell, I might even buy it because it's Star Wars. But I don't know. It's Star Wars Battlefront 2 was just getting really good. Like it's getting to the point now where it can become like a god tier game if they kept updating it, but they've just stopped updates for it.
Well,
And
but you're
it
aware of what
annoys
they
me.
were
It
going to add?
does. Yeah, they were going to add Ahsoka Tano in Asajj Adventures, right? As
They
two
were going to
heroes.
add as heroes in Star Wars Battlefront 2 before content support was cut. The
Yeah.
lead designer of heroes and villains, so
Yeah.
the characters of the heroes and villains, was
Yep.
basically planning to add Ahsoka and Ventress.
Yeah. Two.
Into
if you've
the
seen
game.
the Clone Wars, two very awesome
Which were
characters that
two
are
characters
very
that people
generally
love.
very unknown in the style in the people
If
who
you haven't
sort of
seen
just
the Clone
casually
Wars
watch
TV
Star
show
Wars, they won't know
or
who. Yeah.
the comic books,
Rebels, I would say, or read the books, yeah. And it's like, and it's not just that as well. They had potential for, after they added those two characters, they would have had potential for so many more characters. Like I've always talked about, they could have added an Umbara update where they added the planet Umbara with Krell as a Sith, as like a new Sith bad
Well,
guy, and Captain
that's
Rex
something
as a
they
new
never spoke about.
potential
That's
hero.
an idea we had.
They never. That's my own personal preference. Like I wish.
That's
they
what
had
you
that
would have
come in.
wanted to see in game.
Yes, that's what I would have wanted to see in game. So they have cut support for the game way too early. It's ridiculous, I think, and they. I just think Squadrons is going to be a bit of a waste, and
Squadrons
I hope
is something that the commission doesn't exactly want,
no,
but because it's EA,
it's not looking forward to.
it's
I
what they
should
think
say.
we want.
Yeah, and it's just, I don't know. I just don't like the way EA. The problem, I just don't think EA. I'm not dissing EA. I just don't think they're doing a very good job with Star Wars Battlefront 2 here. Like, it's finally getting onto its feet, and they've just, you know, it frustrates me a bit. And I don't want to go into EA too much because that's not what this podcast is about necessarily. But
Yeah. No, it's
But
it's
yeah,
a valid point
it's
of
frustrating.
games.
yeah, it's just frustrating to see every now and then.
Yeah.
You know? But anyway, overall though, Star Wars Battlefront 2 as a game at the moment, very good. I would rate it 8 or 9 out of 10.
Yeah,
Could be
that's
better,
a
could be worse.
solid one there.
Solid one there. Do we talk about the original Star Wars Battlefront?
That was going to be something I was going to bring up because
Okay,
I
so
was
you go ahead then. You
massive.
talk about what you want to talk about.
I played it massively in terms of
Yeah, I played it.
the original Star Wars Battlefront 2.
Mm-hmm.
I played it
Oh,
religiously.
the original. Yeah, yeah.
Like, I'm talking
Okay.
2005 Battlefront 2.
Yeah. Yeah,
Which is what I
that was a good one.
actually bought on Xbox.
Yeah,
Because it was an Xbox original game,
yeah, it was.
but they also released it on PS2, which is what I originally played it on.
Yeah,
And that's what
It
got me
was-
hooked on it as a game.
yeah.
It
you say
introduced
it, like,
so much stuff. It was
yeah. Would you
such
say
a
like
fun game to
they had
play.
clones in it? Of course, didn't they? So would you say like it helped you
Yeah,
love
the
clones?
entire campaign of it was
Mhm.
you play as the 501st Legion
Yeah. Mhm.
during kind of like the
I've seen clips of the
Rise
game,
of
but I've never
Empire.
played it, and it looks very good. Yeah, I've been meaning to get it actually and play it.
I would highly recommend playing it. I will recommend
Yeah.
you do switch around the controls slightly,
Just slightly.
just because of kind of how they are.
Yeah, that's just one of those things you got to change.
Yeah, I do recommend switching controls.
But yeah, but as a game, this 2005 Star Wars Battlefront 2, solid game then. Solid game.
Yeah,
Very
But-
nice.
if I just go over the campaign a bit more, like
Yeah, keep going.
the first mission you play, you start on Magito, which is featured in Revenge of the Sith. You play as the 501st Legion, or a detachment of it,
Yeah.
and you are tasked with finding an experimental power source for a certain super laser.
A certain super laser.
Yeah, and basically it goes into how the clones were starting to realize Jedi could be tricked,
Yeah.
and if they could be tricked, they could be killed.
Yeah.
And it takes you from Magito, Kashyyyk, Utapau, Mustafar,
Takes you
Yavin.
everywhere then.
It takes you
Yeah.
across all of the Star Wars maps. Practically during the prequel era.
Yeah.
And then some original trilogy, because you can play as
I think.
the others in other factions.
Yeah. I think it can be safely be said that the original Star Wars Battlefront 2 is an OG game of Star Wars. It is a fairly decent, very decent game.
There is one thing that I wish they would have added in, which was featured
What's
in the
that?
original Battlefront game.
Go. Hit it. Yeah.
So in the original Battlefront game, you could give commands to
Mm-hmm.
troops. So let's say you were, let's say you had a couple of AI people around you, and you wanted to have them follow you as a squad. You could press, if it's on Xbox, you could press like left or right on the D-pad, and your character would verbally issue a command of "follow me."
Yeah.
or map or line up and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And
So
you would
it
have
makes it
AI
easier
follow
to
you.
group up. Yeah.
You could disperse them.
They're not.
You could
Yeah.
tell them to attack, or roughly stuff like that. Disperse, attack, stuff like that.
Mhm.
You could tell them to get into vehicles if you're doing a map that had transports.
Yeah.
So the LAT or LAAT gunship, or the CIS
Yeah.
gunship. You could tell
Mhm.
AI to get in them and be gunners,
Yeah.
passengers, stuff like that. I wish they
So-
carried that over.
Yeah, they did. That's not.
But they-
That's not.
but
That's
they
definitely
didn't.
not the two new ones. But yeah, that would make the game, especially in multiplayer, feel a lot more like. It sounds bad, right? But the co-op which we're playing now, you get hordes of droids coming in, right? And if you had that in the main game with all these AI people, it would make it feel a lot more like an organized attack rather than just randomly sparse. Like, you know what I mean?
I mean, if you
So-
could command AI in this game,
Mm.
you would be able to have one person on each point, and one person running between them all helping. But you'd have specialized AI helping you.
There definitely have to be limits, like to what the AI
Oh, no,
can
it
do.
would- it would
because
have
you
to
don't,
be
you don't want it to be a
Basic
shot.
AI movement of
Yeah.
see enemy, shoot enemy, you press disperse, they run around. Stuff like that.
Yeah, I agree. But it would be cool. It'd be really cool. Yeah, no, it sucks that they didn't put that in the new game though, because I guess that's just EA again. Because EA didn't originally own. Did EA own the original Star Wars games? Were they owned by a different company at that time?
It was Lucasfilm.
Was it Lucasfilm that owned them?
I think so.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if it's Lucasfilm, it makes a lot of sense that when the EA bought it, they sort of didn't do that because it's EA and anyway. Again, not going into that. We've talked about that. That's what. Let's get to A. But yeah, no, the original
yeah,
Star
it
Wars
was,
Battlefront games pretty good.
It was developed by Pandemic Studios and published by LucasArts.
Okay. Okay. So
And it
Luke-
was-
essentially the Lucasfilm version of the game,
Yeah,
or whatever.
and it was made a year, or released a year after the original Battlefront game.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen a lot of people. I hear a lot of good things about it, and the fact that you can command actual clones and whatnot and droids.
Well,
It
in
just
the
seems like
original
such an
Battlefront
obvious
game,
thing.
yeah.
You would have thought they'd add to this one, right? You would have thought they'd just. Oh, that's Grievous. But I don't know. It's a bit.
Any other
It's a bit
games you want to
confusing,
talk
some of
about?
the decisions they made. In terms of talking about games that I wanted to speak, I don't know. I think we could go into like potential games that we want to see from Star Wars, maybe.
Yeah.
Now, if you want to. So we'll start with you. Do you have any ideas for potential cool Star Wars games that could come out?
I mean, as a diehard fan of Republic Commando, I still
Yep.
want to see Republic Commando 2.
Yeah, like a remake,
As
essentially.
no, not even a remake.
Oh, just a
As
second
in the
version
end
of it.
of Republic Commando, one of the characters in your squad gets kidnapped
Okay.
as you're
Interesting.
finishing a mission.
Yeah.
Because as you're going around the last mission, you have to basically leave one of your squad members on a turret to shoot something to get rid of a cannon or something, I think.
Yeah.
Haven't played it.
Yeah.
I'm halfway through the campaign, so I haven't really... Or
Yeah.
replaying it again, I'm halfway through it, so I don't really remember.
Yeah.
But you have to leave your
Fair enough.
squad cannon, and you can
Yeah.
look across and see your squad mate get kidnapped.
Oh,
And
okay,
that's
so you
where the
literally
game
see
ends.
him go. Oh, so they left it on a
And
cliffhanger and then never made a
They
second
left it on
one.
a cliffhanger, but then they cut everything for the second game.
Wow. So you want to see in a future Star Wars
I
game
want
something that
to.
carries
I
on
want to
from that?
see the Republic Commando 2. So many fans
Republic
want to
Commando
see it
2.
as well.
Yeah, I can imagine that's a massive popular option. Republic Commando 2. It makes sense as well. Like you can't just leave things on a cliffhanger. We need answers. I don't need sleep. I need answers.
I don't need sleep. I need
But,
answers.
yeah, literally. Oh god. But no, yeah, I'd agree with that. It'd be a fun game to play as well. It would reignite the first game as well. I think.
Oh yeah,
Like,
no. if it got released,
people would replay
the first game would boom in any marketplace or
boom.
store that was
Yes.
put,
Mhm.
because people
Yeah,
go,
I agree.
wait a minute, is that really
Oh.
old game? Oh my
Or
god!
yeah, or they'd
must
play
play
this,
this.
or they'd play the second game and be like, oh, I need to play the first now. So
Yeah.
yeah, no, I reckon it'd be a good marketing move, and it'd be a fun game to play straight off. In terms of games I want to see, I've mentioned this to you before. I want to see a Star Wars survival game. You know,
Yeah.
like
What type of
you could,
survival? Are we talking survival on Endor? We
So-
talking
so
different maps?
I'm drawing inspiration here. I want to see, like, you know, have you ever played Friday the 13th?
I have not played it, but
So-
I have obviously seen people play it.
Yeah. So just for the viewers watching and whatnot, Friday the 13th, essentially what it is you've got a big bad guy with an axe, and he comes around trying to swing you. You're a bunch of campers at a campsite, and this big guy with an axe comes around and he tries to kill you, and you've just got to survive the night. And there's very different methods you can do that. You can call the police. You can kill him, but it's extremely difficult to kill him, and you don't recommend it. Or you can fix a car and drive out. So it's a very fun game. It's a horror game. It's exciting. It's good fun to play with friends. And the reason I think it would work in Star Wars, right, is if you've ever seen Star Wars: The Clone Wars Season 3, episodes 21 and 22, I believe it is. These episodes follow Ahsoka Tano when she's captured by the Trandoshans, the same species as Bossk, right? And she's essentially put into these games, like, think of it like the Hunger Games, right?
I
So
see
she's
you
put-
remember
she's-
the name of the
she's-
species.
Yeah.
How many
Yeah, I
times
did
did it take me telling?
finally, yeah, finally remember the name of the species. Tell me about it. It's ridiculous. But but in these episodes, Ahsoka's got to survive against these Trandoshans who have kidnapped her and put her on an island, alongside loads of other members as well, so Wookiees and other Padawans, like Jedi Padawans, and they've
It's
all got to survive
basically
from the
a hunt.
Trandoshans. And it's basically a
Trandoshans use them as
Trandoshan hunt, right?
sport.
Yeah. And Ahsoka, in the end of the thing, spoiler alert, she survives, but she loses a few friends along the way. But I looked at it and I thought, how cool would it be to be a Jedi Padawan, or to be a Wookiee soldier, or, you know, to be all these different sort of characters that you could be, and have a Trandoshan hunting you in the woods, and you've got to survive for a certain amount of time. I mean, that would be a fun multiplayer
do you mean
game,
kind of
right?
like the
the
Predator game that recently
Yeah,
released?
yeah, a bit like the Predator one. Yeah. And it's a unique type of game to Star Wars as well. Like, we're so used to this, like, you know, the blaster, the thing,
Oh
all
yeah,
that.
we're so
why not
used
just
to
have a
the
survival
kind
horror
of gameplay
game?
you're seeing now.
Yeah. So
where you
I
have
would love to see like a
squad
that survival horror game
and
genre.
practically just
Yeah.
waves upon enemies.
Yeah, and you can still group up with teammates. Like, you can have certain characters that benefit from grouping up with teammates.
Or like
right?
certain classmates. or
Yeah, so like
classes.
you could introduce a clone, right, as one of the characters that Trandoshans kidnap. And if you're in a group of 4 clones or whatnot, you have higher attack speed or higher sprint speed or whatever. You know, it could be anything.
Yeah,
so
benefits for
I
the
think there's-
class.
Yeah, so I think there's or like if you've got like 4 Jedi Padawans together, then you can have higher force abilities or whatnot. So I think there's a lot of potential for a lot of cool characters and a cool game in the survival genre within Star
Yeah.
Wars, and it's just something I really want to see. And
See-
your friends could be a Trandoshan trying to hunt you down, and imagine how fun that would be, killing your friends
Oh, yeah.
as a Trandoshan. So I mean, yeah.
That would be quite a fun game to see.
Yeah,
In all honesty,
It would be-
because it would be a
I
new
think it-
thing to the Star Wars universe.
yeah. I think it would bring new fans to Star Wars games as well. So people who like horror games could play it, and they could still find enjoyment even if they don't like Star Wars, right? So, or not necessarily they don't like Star Wars, but they haven't necessarily
Yeah.
followed Star Wars, right? So it feels like a good way to get new fans into the Star Wars aspect of things as well.
Yeah, that's a good
In my
idea.
opinion, of course. So yeah, that's my. Any other potential Star Wars games that you want to see in the future?
In the same sort of aspect, I like to see a survival game where you either have to play as a Jedi who is on the run from the Sith, or Vader after
Is
Order
this
66.
after Order 66? Yep. Okay,
Yeah. Or
Yep.
play as,
that'd be cool.
a clone who goes into the Empire. because in most of the games, especially the 2005 Battlefront 2 game, the transition is
Yeah.
not really your choice. It's just a case of, here you are a clone, no you're not, you're a stormtrooper, kill some Jedi.
Yeah, just kill some Jedi.
That's Maul! No.
You just run
And
into
then-
Maul in the game.
Yeah, ran into him head first and didn't even bloody blink. And so in terms of game, it'd be either you can pick clone, Jedi, or if you really want to, we could add Inquisitors in, and you could do that sort of route. So you
Yeah.
can be a Jedi surviving after Order 66, you could be a clone dealing with the transition into the
Yeah.
Empire. Or if you really wanted
So-
to be, you could go into the route of be
Yeah.
a Inquisitor hunting down the Jedi and clones, in case if they desert
Yeah.
or not.
So essentially a survival game with lots of different options and routes you can take. Like,
Yeah.
okay, I'm going to pose a question for you. Do you think an open world sort of survival game would work in Star Wars? So you can travel
mean,
to whatever planet you want. You
if
can.
if we follow the idea of using an open world survival game where you can select different characters to play as,
Yeah.
so clone, Jedi, whatever, clone, deserter,
Yeah.
stormtrooper, deserter, whatever. It would be a case of, if it's open world, you would have to play it as an online multiplayer game where you
Yeah.
do have a hunter in game.
Yeah.
And depending on your interactions in game, so let's say you go to a town on a planet.
Yeah.
Let's say the Inquisitor / Sith go to that town and start questioning and
Yeah.
bring stormtroopers with them. If you've spoken
Yeah.
to people in that town, if you
Then
were
they can track you.
a dick, if you were a dick to them, they will rat you
Do a
out.
dick to them. Yeah.
They'll be like, oh
Okay.
yeah, they came here, they tried to take this stuff from me, they
Yeah.
managed to get this,
And
they went this
Yeah.
way and took this ship.
yeah, I like that idea.
Or if you're nice to them, they will cover for you.
Yeah, and would this happen even if you're not there, right? So let's say you went back to
Yeah,
the village, right, and they
it
didn't
would be
reveal
a
your
permanent.
location.
It'd be a
Yeah,
permanent
so-
hunting cycle.
Yeah, so it's like, would the Sith destroy them if they don't tell you, and if they don't tell them any information? If you get what I'm saying,
It would be a
get
case
what I'm trying to
of
say.
they would have the option to torture the NPCs, or
Mhm.
have the implication of torture,
Yeah,
because video
Yeah,
games
yeah,
are very
obviously.
sensitive nowadays in PC,
yeah, yeah. I agree.
or political correctness. So you'd have to have the implication of torture,
Yeah.
as in with
yeah,
COD games
I
nowadays.
agree. You'd have to
Yeah,
be
it's a-
careful with the way that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but you would be able to have it as a Sith interrogates a village, or takes over a village,
Mm.
and if you try enter it, you'll get, if you're recognized by
You'll get
someone,
You'll get chased and all that sort of stuff.
yeah, because it would
I
be
agree.
quite a nice thing to have.
It would be a very, very unique Star Wars game, and
Yeah.
it would certainly be fun to play. Like, I'm sure when the game's first released, there'll be glitches and whatnot, as there is with any game.
Well, it depends,
Of that sort of
'cause
sort. But,
I would personally like to see if we could ever grab a group of people and make a fan game out of it,
yeah, I mean, I would love
because
to do
you
that. If we ever
technically
get big
wouldn't
enough.
need the rights to it, because it's not a, you're not using
It's not.
characters from Star Wars,
Yeah, you're not using.
you would be able
characters
to
from Star Wars.
use
It's like a.
personalized
Yeah.
characters.
Yeah, you could easily, and it'd be a fun game. Anyone watching this potentially on YouTube or Twitch, hearing this idea, want to hit us up? Hit us up.
Anyone
baby,
able
let's
to
go.
make
Let's
a game,
make it
develop
happen.
code, art, style,
We,
stuff like
we
that.
want a cool survival game. That's what we want.
We are willing
cool
to
survival
collaborate.
Story, baby. We can do story. Awesome.
Oh yeah, as you've just
So,
heard, I just created a game out
should-
of thin fucking air.
Out of thin. So the
Out of
podcast
air,
is
mate.
reaching about 40 minutes now altogether. So I think it's maybe a good time to finish here. We've talked quite a lot about different sort of video games that already exist, potential video games, which is off. Just quickly, just to finish it off then, what's your favourite video game that you've played of Star Wars so far?
Favorite video game for Star Wars?
hmm
Republic Commando.
Republic Commando. That's a fair enough answer. I'm gonna have to say Star Wars Battlefront 2, this version that we're playing now, because it's the one I've played the most, quite honestly.
But,
And
yeah,
it's
you
gotten a
do
lot
have-
better since it was released. I do play a lot. And it's gotten a lot better since it was first released, so you got to give it credit
Oh,
for
yeah.
that.
It was a
But
major
yeah,
flop.
no,
and then it
overall,
rose up from the ashes.
it was it rose Phoenix. But no, yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Radio Clone. It was the second episode.
Hopefully
where
you
we were talking
enjoyed our
about video
ranting.
games. Yes, we've ranted a lot about EA a little bit. We might go more on that in a future podcast. Let us know
That might be
down
a
below if you
future
want us
podcast
to.
where we just
Yeah,
tear
it might be
into
a
EA.
future podcast.
We may
Tearing
get sued.
into EA like
We
bitches.
may get sued. You may never hear from us
No,
again.
we'll be. We'll wait and see. We'll wait and see. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Catch you in the next one.